The life of this bridge, well, it's been around since 1912, serving the town of Long Eaton, coming off Broad Street. That is off Tamworth Road, and just over there, taking you on to West Park. Its time is sadly at an end. It's one of the traditional cast iron riveted examples which are scattered all around the area, and especially Long Eaton itself, crossing the railways and other areas of this canal. It's getting replaced and it should be gone by the summer. So for just reasons to document it and remember that it was here, I didn't want this bridge just to go without any acknowledgement and just out of history with a whimper.
The bridge was originally built to carry pedestrians across the Erewash Canal, forming a vital link between the town centre and West Park on the western side, helping them avoid a longer, less convenient route around Derby Road. However, over the years this bridge became narrow, low and worn, with the height of the structure so low that users had to duck underneath it. A structural assessment eventually showed that it was reaching the end of its useful life, and it was also showing signs of corrosion, prompting concerns that safety and long-term sustainability. As a result, it was included in a major regeneration plan for Long Eaton, funded by the government-backed Town Deal programme to improve safety, accessibility and connectivity, especially for pedestrians, cyclists, wheelchair users and families. A decision has been made to replace it with this modern structure. Rather than just swapping in a basic replacement, local planners wanted the new crossing to be a landmark for the town, reflecting Long Eaton's identity and helping enhance the canal area as a community asset rather than a barrier. Completion is expected by August 2026.
I've been under this bridge many times, walking and cycling too, and one of the things that you always had to bear in mind is, as I approach it, look, you really had to duck quite a substantial amount. So let's get underneath and do that now, and that is probably one of the reasons that this is getting replaced. It's not getting replaced with a light for light straight over A to B example either. It's going to be something that's accessible to all. You have to admire those balloon bricks. They're huge, aren't they? Still with the iron structures left from when previous fencing was there. If you're local, you might be annoyed that this has been closed. I think it was November the 6th, 2025 that it closed to the public, and work began almost immediately. It's ongoing right now as I speak, even at just after 8 AM on a frosty morning. But how are you feeling about this bridge going? Do you prefer how it is, what it is, or do you anticipate the new bridge coming along? Of course, I'm unable to get on top, but here's an example kindly sent in to me by Andy, who's local. Gives us an idea of what this bridge actually looks like from the top. On the opposite side, just to try and take a look, we can see the accessibility ramp going up at a better angle from just here. So nice zoomed in image. Now that was probably a later addition, so I don't believe it would have sloped down when the bridge was first constructed. The steps quite potentially coming down on the opposite side. But I could be wrong, because I believe it's probably been shotcreted and reinforced at some point. That's why the lower section doesn't look as old as you probably expect it to be, like the iron section going across the top. The newer bridge should bypass the old one and curve around and position itself a little way just beside the brook over there. So there you have it. That is basically the story of this footbridge that is about to succumb to its fate. It's only a short video, but I want to just record it because that's what I like to do. It's not always about something that's gone or is still here but ruined. Stuff that's still here today that won't be very, very soon. And at least there's some form of record of it. And speaking of bridges that are in a bit of a state or disrepair, I'm now going to take a look at another one that crosses the railway line coming out of Toton Yard as if it's going off towards Trent Junction. So I'll see you down there. It's in a bit of a state, this one. Now on Husses Lane between Main Street and New Tythe Street just ahead of me. We're coming up to a pretty tired looking footbridge.
Husses Lane was established street by 1884 with development and local footpaths forming part of the town's early layout. The development of paths and roads such as Husses Lane is tied into how local access got reorganised around the growing railway infrastructure in the 1880s onwards, so could well be in the region of around about 140 years old. Looking at today's Google imagery, we've got Main Street on the left and Husses Lane going up past Screwfix in the centre towards the railway line. We can see the bridge just here and New Tythe Street on the right hand side. We can jump back to this drawing from the early 1900s. Everything is pretty much as it was, aside from some mills and some railway works that are scattered around the railways, and you can notice that the tracks are probably around about 4 tracks wide.
It's just beside Screwfix, this one, and yeah, already this is looking pretty tired, isn't it? I wonder when the last time this would have been painted. Show you on the other side, look. It's in absolute dire need of some attention, isn't it? I dread to think what it's like underneath. Also got a bit of a skew angle, look at that. That's peculiar. So we get a short distance on, look, and you can see there is in fact a kink. Oh, it's creaking and crackling as I'm walking over it as well. Good spot if you want to take photographs. So just up there you can see the footbridge of the former Long Eaton station. That was indeed the third incarnation of a station in or around the town. Closed in 1967, 1st of January I believe that was. The last ticket sold on the 31st of December 1966. Views of the railway line heading south towards Trent Junction. And you could just make out Ratcliffe-on-Soar power station, look. Pretty much in centre of shot. Year and a half now that's not been in operation. I do love these iron trellis riveted bridges though, these footbridges. They really are something from a historical point in time. That's my own opinion. I mean, it's a design that's been around for over a century, isn't it? A couple of centuries almost. It's just stood the test of time. They always seem to last a heck of a lot longer. They just need looking after somewhat, and I believe the one down at the former station site on Station Road was refurbished about 3 years ago. Maybe it's time for this one to follow suit. Well, I do appear to have timed that right, don't I? It's absolutely brilliant. That's passing below, very, very long. It's just going through the site of the former station now, that was just talked about previously. Passing through Toton Yard, and it will indeed head north. And coming down to the bottom, not really a great deal to see. Unfortunately, there is a bit of fly tipping been going on, and there's a load of houses behind me, so we're not going to be pointing the camera at them. But another bridge that is still here, and it's been here a very long time, and hopefully it gets a bit of attention so it sticks around for a whole while longer. So that just goes to show this line can be very busy at times. Just think what it would have been like back in its heyday when all the pits and collieries were in operation. Loads and loads of coal trains and even more going on around here. So another bridge ticked off the list. Seem to be doing quite a few of them right now, but I find them interesting, especially when they're historical, just like this one. They've been around for a very, very long time. So there we go. Another bridge ready to be lost in time. Very historical, very significant and poignant too. Hope you found this interesting. It's not my usual video that I'd technically do, but I just wanted to record something that I was familiar with and a lot of you would be too. And this bridge very soon will be forgotten. As for the other one crossing over the railway line on the town centre, well, that needs a bit of attention too, or it'll end up suffering a very similar fate. Not like these though. These mills are still proudly standing. It'd be nice to have a look around one of these one day, wouldn't it, to uncover some of that history behind that. Thanks very much for watching. I shall see you in the very next one. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Bye for now.